I wanted to do a live now because I don't have any more time today or tomorrow or most of next week. So this is a live lesson. I will post it to Instagram TV. This is live lockdown lesson number 20. We have been doing this a month, and I am not in my office. I am actually somewhere else. That's the Vondel Park right there, but you can't see it because of the sun. And I thought, where I am, I have this really great whiteboard. So I wanted to use it to teach you something about grammar. And this will be the last live lockdown lesson for a while until I can get another one done. So this is what I wanted to teach you. When it comes to grammar, what is the difference between I work and I'm working? So grammar can be very, very confusing, but if you can visualize it as a picture in your head, it makes more sense. Everybody learns in different ways, and I think a good teacher is able to teach in different ways so that your style matches the style of the person who's learning from you. That's something that I use in a lot of my books and online courses and videos. So today, for those of you who learn in a visual way, I want to visualize grammar for you. And I've made this timeline, 2 timelines here. This represents the present tenses. This represents the past tenses. And I've made it backwards for me so that I don't have to flip my phone. So when it comes to the present tenses, we have I'm working versus I work. And let me show you. If you say I work, this is now, and this is the past, the present, and the future. When you say I work, you'll see this dot coming back again and again and again. You don't know when it started, and you don't know when it will finish. So when you say I work, that's used for habits, for hobbies, for permanent situations, or things that happen again and again and again. And you'll see this dot represents it. So I work, I live, I study. Where do you work? Where do you study? I like chocolate, I enjoy swimming, etc. Those are things that we don't expect to change. So when someone says, I work at Shell, we don't know how long they've been working there. We just know they work there. It's used for permanent situations. But if you say, I am working, that's this one. And that is only for now. So that is what I call the selfie form. I am working on a new project at the moment, or this week only, or I am visiting my sister for lunch. It's a temporary situation. So I am working is temporary because you can see here, we know it's going to end. We know it's going to end. And here, I work, we do not know when it's going to end. So verbs in the present tenses without the ing are considered permanent. I live, I work, I study. If you say, I live in Chicago, we expect that you'll be there for a while. But if you say, my sister is taking a photography course, we understand that course will end. So this would be used, the permanent form, for example, every week, every year, every month. So every year I go on vacation. Every month I wash my car. But at the moment, I'm washing my this or this week, I'm eating in a restaurant on Tuesday. This is the permanent with the ing, and this is this is temporary with the ing, and this is permanent without the ing. Second point I want to bring up is here, I've made this for the past tenses. So if this is now, this is something that happened before now. And this would be the difference between I lived in that house, I lived there for 2 years, and I have lived in that house for 2 years. So I have lived, I have done, I have worked is something that started in the past, comes up until now, and continues into the future. That's I have done, I have lived, I have worked. But I did, I lived, I worked. That is called the past simple, and that is for things that are over or finished. So there's a really big difference when you say, I worked at that bank. When you say, I worked there for 2 years, I worked there means you no longer work there. I worked means it's over. It has no connection to now. This is backwards for me, so I'm trying to do it against my feeling. I worked at that bank for 2 years means I no longer work there. But if you say, I have worked at that bank for 2 years, that means you still work there. So don't change your job unless you mean to. You can say, I lived in London for 6 months if you left, or I have lived in London for 6 months means you still live there. And there's a real difference in English between, for example, how long did you know somebody and how long have you known somebody. If you ask someone, a client once said to me, so how long did you know your husband? When you say how long did you know him, you've just killed him. You are a murderer because you just killed my husband. I don't like that. So it should be, because my husband is alive, how long have you known him? How long have you worked for your company? You still work there. How long have you lived in your house? You still live there. So remember, did is for things that are finished, and have is for things that are not finished, or has. That's it. So to recap, I've written lots of books about grammar, but in this live lockdown lesson where I really have just a few minutes, I'm not even on Facebook, I'm just doing this on Instagram. I just wanted to point out, because I have this beautiful thing, and check out this lamp. It could be like my hat. Look, I can see your halo, halo. Back to our regularly scheduled program. To recap, the present tenses in a nutshell, that's an expression we did yesterday in live lockdown lesson number 19. This is number 20. At the moment, I am teaching on Instagram Live, and I teach English. That's something I do every day, all the time. It will never end. And here, I lived in America for many, many years. I was born in Brooklyn, New York, and I have lived in the Netherlands for 29 years. That's a very, very long time. So I lived in America versus I have lived. Okay, so that was our grammar lesson. You can make your screenshot. Who has a question for me? Because I need to go. I'm able to answer your questions if you have one in the next minute or two. I hope you enjoyed live lockdown lesson number 20. I am going to do another live one sometime next week, but my schedule is getting busier and busier, so I cannot do it at a set time every day. But if I can, I will set a timer, maybe just for like 5 minutes before, like I did today. And I welcome you to join me in the next live lockdown lesson. I do not know when that will be. Just keep following this space. And good news is the song that I wrote with Tim Knoll was just added today to New Music Friday on Spotify. So check out The Strangest Spring on Spotify. It just got added to New Music Friday. I'm very, very honored. Who has a question for the teacher today? Thank you for tuning in at this different time than normal. Wishing you all the best. And thank you so much for joining. I will hopefully try to make this an Instagram TV. I have to go to my next appointment. I was going to market last week and I saw on the street. I was going to the market. So you're going to the market. We need an article before market. Thank you for sharing. Hi, Marijn, great to see you. Hi, Ava, great to see you. Any questions? You can always send me a message. Don't forget, I'm doing a free English webinar April 16th at 10 a.m., 1 p.m., and 7 p.m. Amsterdam time. You can sign up for that in my Instagram bio. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great day. Today is Good Friday for those of you celebrating. So I don't want you to have a Good Friday. I want you to have a great one. Bye.